Hi there, Denny here from my kitchen. What if I told you there was a Disney cookie recipe that would change your cookie eating, baking in your kitchen? You thought the yellow bag had the #1 recipe life. This is that recipe, my go-to chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's the Floridian's chocolate chip cookie, and we're baking it today. Let's go.
This video is sponsored by Give a Little Whistle Travel.
Listen, I know what you're thinking, that yellow bag is the best thing since sliced bread, and, could a Disney bakery recipe actually beat it? And the answer is yes. I discovered this recipe back in 2020, about the time that we all needed cookies, right? And so I learned that cookies are my love language at that point. And this recipe I have made countless batches of since then. It's just that good and really just that easy. Here's the one thing that is different about this recipe. It utilizes powdered sugar rather than regular sugar. Yeah, we still need the brown sugar. Absolutely. We got to have some all-purpose flour. But this powdered sugar is a game changer. If you don't know what powdered sugar is, it's that fluffy stuff that we always buy and we sprinkle on things or roll cookies in at the last minute. This is finely milled sugar that's also been combined with cornstarch. Cornstarch is going to make things a little bit drier sometimes, and it also may change the fluffiness ratio of the recipe. And that's what it does to this. It makes it a little bit puffier, and it makes those cookies delicious. And we're gonna get started. Dry ingredients first. This is a recipe that Disney Parks blog put out, and man, oh man, am I so glad they did. Let's go over it real quick. The whole recipe is down in the description box, so if you want to bake these up in your own kitchen, check that out, all right? Here we go. Dry in a separate bowl, dry ingredients. You want to keep them separate from your wet ingredients, and I will be utilizing my stand mixer today. If you don't have a stand mixer, a large bowl and a hand mixer will do. Let's get started. First things first, go ahead and preheat your oven to 330 degrees. Yes, that is way lower than that yellow bag recipe you and I are so used to. Don't worry about it. Just set it, 330. Now, for our dry ingredients, we need 2.5 cups of flour. So let's get out the correct measuring cups. You always have the measuring cups you need until you actually need them. Am I right? I am right. I know this. Right. Here we go. I am going to, and yes, I use a knife to level. If you don't, please do. Get that flour exact. You need it pretty exact. So 1 cup, 2 cups, and we're gonna do a 1/2 cup additional. And then we're gonna go and do our baking soda. Our baking soda, we need 1 teaspoon. I put things aside when I'm like, check. You've done something. Good job, buddy. Good job. All right, so we need a teaspoon of baking soda. That's the 1/2 teaspoon. Let's get the teaspoon. There it is. There it is. All right. Toss that in. Put that aside over there. Now, we are going to go do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I've already pre-measured it, and it goes in right there. The other thing you may want to do in advance is pull out 10 tablespoons of butter to soften, or get really familiar with your microwave. Give it 10 seconds, another 10 seconds. You don't want to soften it too much. You don't want to melt it. So this is what I like to do. This is actually, because it says Sift flour, this is what the recipe says. Sift flour, baking soda, and salt together. No, I don't have time to sift it. I have one of those sifters that you pour it in and, you sift it. It takes forever. And so I whisk it really, really well until it's really finely mixed. And it's good enough, friends. It's good enough. Again, I've made batches upon batches of this stuff. So we should be fine. Now, this is where we need to pull out our large bowl with our hand mixer or our stand mixer. So let's grab those. Starting the wet ingredients, we're going to toss the 10 tablespoons of softened butter into the large bowl. It's all in and happy. We're going to do 1 cup, and you want to press it down. So 1 firmly packed cup of brown sugar. And I just like to put it in with a spoon and just tamp it down as I go so that I'm sure to get exactly a cup. And then I'll take a knife to it to make sure I only have a cup going on. And that's it. In it goes. And then we need 3/4 as brown sugar goes flying. Whoosh! And then we need 3/4 of a cup of the powdered sugar. So let's take care of that. Here's our cup. Clean off that spoon. Here's our cup. This is 1/2 cup. This is 1/4 cup. And we're going to go ahead and mix that. We're going to turn the mixer on because you want to mix it until it's fluffy. Fluffy. I know. Like the first time I made this recipe, I was like, well, how do I know when it's like technically fluffy? Well, it changes texture a little bit, and it's just got this lightness to it and really has a lightness in color as well. So hopefully that helps. But here we go. I'm going to turn it on and hopefully, oh, I'm going to get my little lid. That helps. On it goes. Here we go. All right, it worked. I'm going to let this run. We'll check back in when it's done. So it's mixing. I wouldn't call it fluffy yet, but you're in the process of creaming the sugar and the butter together. So just hang in there. I've kicked up the speed, you can tell. I'm going to scrape down the sides. I'm going to keep going. It's getting there. It's on high right now. There's 1 notch higher. So like on this KitchenAid, it's 8. That's where we are right now. It's lighter in color and it's starting to look fluffy. Okay, let's take a quick peek so I can show you. I know you can see it on the paddle, but also there. So lighter in color, a really fluffy looking texture to it. So chef's kiss. We are right where we need to be. The next thing that we need to do is while it's mixing, put in 2 eggs. So here we go. We've got our 2 eggs ready to go. That's the first egg. Let it combine. The egg is doing its thing. It's combining, and I'm going to throw the second one in. And then we're going to scrape down those sides after we put in that vanilla. So 2 teaspoons. Here we go. Nice and sloshy. Speaking of sloshy, I spill. I mean, what's baking in the kitchen without making a mess, right? All right. That is looking good. So here comes the tricky part, and this is the whole reason why I have this pouring lid. It helps to prevent some of the snow of the flour of the dry ingredients cascading all over my kitchen counters when I start the process of adding the dry ingredients into the wet. Brian actually bought this for me, my dear hubby. Bless. So I'm going to pop that on top. I'm going to get our dry ingredients. It says slowly add flour mixture for a reason, okay? Because we don't need to make too big of a mess, but you've got to have it running. So here we go. Little bit at a time typically does okay, because remember, what's in that bowl is really, really wet. We've added 2 eggs, we've added vanilla. All of that liquidy ingredient really counts toward making it a very wet batter until we start tossing this stuff in. So far, so good. Just a little bit. I'm going to continue, get this all in, and we'll touch base. So as the whole thing gets drier in the bowl, more of that flour mixture comes out. It's like there's a little gremlin inside throwing it back out. I don't want it. Keep your flour. I'm going to scrape down the sides real quick and run it just a little bit more. And then we're adding in the chocolate chips. And it'll go in the oven. Now, call me crazy, but I toss my chocolate chips in with my mixer running. It just, again, I'm not here to spend more time baking. I want to spend more time with the cookies in my mouth. And so I cut as many corners as I can in a good way. I don't cut the corners that count. These I can. So yeah, I'm using this brand now. I'll be using other brands. I love a really good chocolate. So from time to time, I'll treat myself to a really, really good one. For now, this is what I've got. And so in it goes. It mixes all around. I stop it before they start getting crushed. And I start to pull out the paddle with it running. I live life dangerously. And there it is. There is our batter. Look how good that looks. We're making cookies. With dough like this, it's not going wrong. It's just not. It's just not. And the counters don't look too bad. I mean, they look somewhat bad. But they could look worse. Here we go. Let's put some on to a parchment paper lined sheet that I've got ready. It was actually the last little bit of parchment paper in the package. So I've added that to the grocery list and I've tried to flatten it out. Now, this is a smaller cookie scoop, so I add a little bit more in. Remember, these cookies are as big or as small as you want them to be. Of course, I like a generously sized cookie, because what are we even doing here? And aren't we adults? Yes. When you're 10, you take the cookie size that is given to you and you're thankful for it. When you're not 10, you get to make the cookies as big as you want them to. Love that. Love that for us. Okay, I've got 6 cookies ready to roll here. And they're going to go in the oven. Now it says 9 to 11 minutes. Usually it is right in that 10 and a half minute. With my oven, the way my oven is, that's the sweet spot. So I'll check back in once we're pulling out golden brown cookies. In they go. Okay, so I have an edit. Instead of a 9 to 11 minute baking time, the recipe says a 10 to 12. I just usually hover right around 10, 11. So the cookies that are in the oven right now have been in for about 11 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. Now those are for medium cookies. For larger cookies, the recipe says 12 to 14. Let's take a peek. They are ready. So it says golden brown is what you want to go for. Look how puffy they are. Thank you, powdered sugar in part. Gloriously puffy. I wish this was smell-o-vision. I wish it was. I'm going to go ahead and let them cool for a minute, and then I'm going to transfer them to this wire rack right here and let them cool a little bit more, just enough. One of them just enough for me to shove in my mouth. But I'll break into a cookie and give you a look, and you can decide for yourself whether this is something you should be baking on your own. Okay, while the kitchen is now clean and we're waiting for cookies to be ready to eat, I just wanted to pop in and say that this video has been sponsored by Give a Little Whistle Travel. Give a Little Whistle Travel is comprised of a team of Disney travel consultants. They are here to help you. They have been trained to do so, and they really, at their core, are a team of Disney Parks fans. So let the fans and the agents at Give a Little Whistle Travel help you make your Disney vacation wishes come true. They can help you with everything from Adventures by Disney to Disney Cruise Line to Walt Disney World, Disney Alani Resort and Spa, and Disneyland. Listen, they are here to help you. Don't forget that when you book Disney Cruise Line vacations with the agents at Give a Little Whistle Travel, that you roll onto those ships with onboard credit, which can go a long way to making your trip even more magical. So definitely reach out to the team at Give a Little Whistle Travel at givealittlewhistle.com or on their phone number. And yes, that's right, you can actually talk to a travel agent. How fun is that? You can even have a consultation where they give you their thoughts, their advice right off the bat. Thank you so much, Give a Little Whistle Travel, for sponsoring this video. Time for cookies. I can't even. I wish you were in this kitchen with me right now. We'd be having so much fun, number one, and so many cookies, and number two. So I am going to continue baking off this batch, but before I do that, I have got to show you these cookies. Here we go. This lovely, chewy, soft. Here we go. Just a toast on the outside, and then look at that on the inside. Friends of mine. My gosh. Cheers. Gooey, melty chocolate. The texture is so wonderful. It's fluffy. It's got a little salt behind it. It's amazing. Look at that. Listen, the team at the Grand Floridian, if you've been to the Grand Floridian and you've tried any of the desserts, we're talking Grand Floridian Cafe, we're talking Gasparilla Island, their counter service, Citricos, and on and on and on. Narcoossee's, friends of mine. They know what they're doing, and this recipe will absolutely knock your socks off, guaranteed. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's a little something different for me, but you know what? Let's start making some Disney snacks together in our kitchens. Why not? Let's do that. It's winter, and even if you're making this in the middle of June, this is a surefire hit. So please, if you enjoyed this video, like it. Please subscribe to the channel for all sorts of Disney fun. Listen, I love eating my way through the parks. I'd love for you to join me. Definitely hit that notification bell because you want to get notified every single time I put up a new video so that you can check it out. And here's my question to you. Have you ever been to the Grand Floridian and had any of their baked goods? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite. And if you haven't been to the Grand Floridian for any of their baked goods, let me know down in the comments what your favorite cookie is. It'll be fun getting to share all the cookie love. I mean, cookies are comfort, right? So let's share that down in the comment section. Listen, if you'd like to follow along with me on Instagram, you can follow along at Denny_Sunderly. I want to give a warm cookie, toasted cookie high five, a chocolatey virtual high five to the whole 9 yards team. They are the Patreon team. They are the magic makers behind this channel. And without them and their support, I'm not able to do fun things like go and eat in the Disney restaurants or stop an evening and share this recipe with you. So please, if you'd like to join the team of magic makers here on the channel, check it out at patreon.com/Denny_Sunderly. Of course, my Amazon storefront is linked down below, as is our sponsor, Give a Little Whistle Travel. Check them out. They'd love to help you. And now I've got some more cookies to bake and, of course, eat. Have a great one, everyone. Much love. Much love. Bye.